while this loads, and now it's done, and look at that, 99%. Hey guys, what is going on? It's Hamish from Income Stream Surfers. Today's video I'm going to talk about why I've completely changed my mind about Shopify, and why I think that Shopify is actually the best CMS, content management system, website builder, whatever, to use in 2021. And I've got an example. I've been working on a printful dropshipping store, which I'm really enjoying it. And I've learned a lot of things about Shopify Liquid, for example, which it's really, really easy. And Shopify is much more customizable than I thought. I thought everything required plugins, and plugins make your website slow. But I haven't got a single plugin on my Shopify store, and it has a 100 speed score rating. And I've got things which previously I didn't realize were possible without plugins. So I think Shopify has really upped their game in terms of site speed and in terms of what you can do without plugins. And if you purchase a domain with Shopify, the main disadvantage of Shopify obviously is that you have to pay $29 a month, but I think it's kind of balanced out by the easiness of it. And I mean, like, I don't know if you've ever tried to create a WooCommerce store, but it's really, really complicated. I found it really, really difficult. Shopify makes everything really, really easy, and I think it's worth the money. You also have a 14-day trial, and if you didn't know, I only just found this out, you can become a partner for free with Shopify, and you can create your entire store, everything, for free. And then when you're ready, you can start the 14-day trial, or maybe you have to pay $29. I don't know. I've never tried it, but I am going to try it soon. I'm going to make a website for someone. And yeah, I feel like Shopify is much better than I and a lot of people give it credit for. Like, I think Shopify has this like bad image of not being good for, SEO, or not being good for customizability and things, but I'm really not sure if it's true, and I'm discovering more and more every day about Shopify. But before I continue talking, just have a look at this example of my website, the website I built. The speed, it's incredible, really. Okay, so this is a live example on desktop. The store is Funky Pigs. Look at that speed. Time Til First Byte is unbelievable. I'm going to pick a random one, so let's just go with this product. And look, it's got the customizability, which I added without any plugins, which is really nice. GT Metrics, if you don't know, it's the best speed checker. I'll just skip while this loads, and now it's done. And look at that, 99%. Like I've worked with companies with like 20%, 30%, really, really not good. But just look at the speed of that. Like, I didn't associate Shopify with speed, but this blew me away, honestly. Like, and the best thing is, like, you can customize it. Like, if you look, you can't see it because of my watermark, but I'm changing the currency, and it's changing it automatically, and that's without a plugin. As you can see, this Shopify website has an incredible site speed. But let's talk about why that's even important. So the first thing you have is SEO, and it affects SEO in a number of different ways. If you go onto your Google Search Console for your website and you look at the console insights, page insights, and you see how many URLs you have that are good and how many that Google states are bad, and probably for most websites that haven't thought about this, their URLs will predominantly be in the bad category. And it's not a good sign when the company that you rely on for traffic, Google, says that your URLs are bad. So if you're ranking on Google and all of your URLs are bad, that will tell you that if they were all good instead of bad, you would be, your traffic would be 10 times as much, or I don't even know, like a lot more, basically, especially if you have a lot of URLs. So it's important for that reason, but it's important for another reason, for SEO and also for paid per click advertising. And especially the first part, when you first click on a website, It's called Time Til First Byte. Time Til First Byte. TTFB, I guess. Which basically it's when the user starts to see something on the screen that's not just a blank screen. If you noticed before, when I clicked on, or when I went on my website, it was very, very quick. You immediately saw the content. But a lot of website builders and a lot of, it depends what you use, obviously, but a lot of people don't realize that if you have a very large Time Till First Byte, people will click on your advert or on your Google search result, and they will wait for about a second, and then they'll leave because nothing's on the screen. And people don't have the patience anymore to wait more than 1.5 seconds. So you're losing revenue potentially, you're losing visitors, you're giving bad signals to Google, all because your page speed is not even your page speed, your initial load time is bad. And this really, really causes problems, and it's why I'm so impressed with the Shopify solution. But it makes sense because everything is done by Shopify, so there's no external factors, there's no misconfigurations in the back end, there's no problems with the cache. It's all just done by Shopify, and if they had a bad service, they wouldn't be the company that they are. So it makes sense that everything works smoothly. When you start to add plugins, that's when you start to have problems, and I think that's why Shopify actually has a bad name. But if you use Shopify as a website builder without plugins, probably as it was intended to be used, like they probably only started doing plugins and things because they were getting more money from it. But if you don't use plugins, and this applies to WordPress as well, I was making a website just using what's known as Gutenberg, which is basically editing the theme files or editing the HTML of separate pages instead of using like Elementor or whatever. These are the things that slow it down. Like JavaScript, like things like this, they really, really slow websites down. And the way that plugins work is they use heavy languages like JavaScript. And I'm not a coder, okay? Like I've been kind of dipping my feet into the water for the last year. I did a Python course on freecodecamp.org, which it wasn't really helpful to learn Python, but I think it really gave me a good base understanding of how computers worked, actually, which was really, really cool because I've always been into computers but never really fully understood them, and it's helped with a lot of different things. And CSVs as well, something I'm really, really interested in now. Excel or Google Sheets for automatically uploading products. But anyway, which is another really good thing about Shopify, actually. The auto import CSV seems very, very simple, and the export for Google Merchant Center should also be fairly functional if I don't use too many plugins, which is what I'm hoping for. Okay, so yeah, completely changed my mind about Shopify. I'm really, really impressed by it this time round. I didn't like it the first time, and it seemed too expensive, and then I found out about WordPress, and I went down this whole, WordPress movement where I just fell in love with WordPress, and WordPress was this amazing thing, but WordPress is difficult. It requires a lot more knowledge, and I don't really know. Maybe if I went back to WordPress now, I would understand it better because my programming understanding has got better. But I just feel like because everything is like external, it's not as integrated, and it's just kind of like loads of external things plopped together, open source, and it just doesn't feel as clean or as easy as Shopify. So if you're just starting out and you want to do, I don't know, a drop shipping business, or you want to do, I don't know, even a blog, I would say Shopify would work really, 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 really well for a blog. Just be careful with plugins, guys. Don't use too many plugins, if any. I'm hoping to make this entire website without plugins, although I don't know if geo-targeting is possible without using the Shopify geo-targeting app which does not have very good reviews. So I am a little bit worried about that. Maybe that's a disadvantage of Shopify alongside having to pay for it, obviously. But yeah, I hope that's helpful, guys, and I'll see you really, really soon with a video about this dropshipping store. Peace out.